least that much in a very long time. I don't drink either. I don't partake in really anything. I mean, it's not, I don't have anything against any of that stuff. You know, I personally don't do it. I'd rather have like a water and watch a good reality TV show. I'm lame like that.
I found the cartridge wasn't too bad, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about. I'm scared about those cartridges and edibles, because I heard that they can really screw you up. But I don't know how I can get more screwed up than I was that Friday night.
Oh, one of the people I know said that they ended up getting an edible cookie, and they actually cut it in like 4, and them and their significant other both had like, you know, a quarter of a piece, and they weren't really feeling anything. So her significant other ended up eating the other half of the cookie, and then as soon as he ate that, everything just like hit him.
Oh, that's gotta suck, because you know you got the other one coming.
Yep, and they said that he was high that night all the way into like the next day.
Ah, it sucks.
Yeah, and that's the bad part about edibles.
Yeah. So that's Saturday and Sunday. I packed up my entire house, packed everything up, cleaned it all, went and picked up a U-Haul. It was like a U-Haul cargo trailer. Packed up the U-Haul cargo trailer, my truck, and then Monday afternoon or Monday morning, I spent cleaning the entire house still. And then Monday at like 2 p.m., I started my drive from New Hampshire all the way to Waco, Texas.
You were hauling ass.
It may have looked like I was driving fast, but pulling that trailer, I could only go about like 60, 65.
Yeah, 65 is supposedly the max for the U-Haul trailers.
Well, it says 55 on the side. I did 65, and it was doing good. But if I'd go like anything over 70 is when it started to get like weird and like wobbly, and I was like, I'll just do 65.
Oh yeah, don't want a fishtail.
So I did 65 all the way here. I just want to say that the New Jersey Turnpike, their toll is fucking ridiculous. I get up to the toll, and I have a truck that's pulling a 5x8 cargo trailer. $41.45 for the toll. One toll. $41.45. I looked at her and I said, are you serious? She said, yeah. I said, God damn, I need to open up some tolls, lady.
Right.
I was very reluctant. I said, what would happen if I didn't pay and I just took off right now? She goes, well, we would mail you the bill.
It'll be more because that happened to me. Just saying.
Okay, yeah. So I just paid it. I paid the lady in cash, and I was like, well, what the fuck are my taxes being, you know, where are they going to? She's like, oh, they're going to bomb kids in the Middle East. She didn't say that, but.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, the first time I went up to New Hampshire for the nuke work, I got confused at the very end Easy Pass section, which I didn't have an Easy Pass at the time. I was just like, oh, shit, that's going to hurt my account when they mail me that bill. Because, of course, they always mail you, like, I think they always charge you a little bit more when they have to send it like that.
Yeah, you send like a transaction fee, a processing fee, we printed out this paper fee, a fuck you fee, all those different fees, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I started driving Monday at 2 p.m. By Tuesday at 6:30 or 7 a.m., I was able to find a rest stop where I could stop. All of them were taken up by truckers. When you would get close to a rest stop, they would all be on the side of the road parked. When I would pull into a rest stop at night, they were completely packed down with truckers. I could not park my truck anywhere. So I was like, oh, these motherfucking truckers. I was getting pissed. So finally, by like 7 o'clock, I was able to pull into a truck stop at Tennessee and pull my truck over. And I slept for about 2 hours. Then I got up and drove the rest of the way to Texas. All the way.
Boss.
And then I arrived here in Texas this morning at 5:30. So Wednesday at 5:30.
Now he's just chilling at the compound.
Yep. They got high-speed internet at the Branch Davidian compound. They're like, Father Aaron. Don't call me that. I'm not your leader. Yes, you are. You're the new David. Like, don't say that. Don't start that. We aren't starting that, or I will leave again. Yes, Brother Aaron. That's what I like. Just call me brother. That's fine. Anyway, so yeah, that's what my life's been up to. I'm gonna settle into Waco and get back to a normal research and recording schedule, and I wanted to talk to you, Dan, about some upcoming podcast conventions and us doing a meet and greet at one of those, or at least like saying, hey, we're going to be at this convention. If anybody wants to come, hang out and
Find us.
have beers, or, I don't drink, but I'll sit at a bar or whatever and chit chat with people, or we'll go wherever. I don't care, and just hang out and chit chat and talk shit about theories and stuff,
I'm down.
All right, we'll set something up, and I'll release a date of when we're going to do that, but it'll most likely be like in the June or July time frame, during the summer.
Yeah. I think that's when most of the good conventions are.
Yeah. We'll set something up. I think that'd be fun,
How hot is it in Texas right now?
70, 75 to 80.
So no more snow for you.
No. When I left Boston, it was 26, and I was in shorts and a t-shirt.
Damn. Well, shoot, I'm glad you made it to Texas safe.
Yeah. And thank you, everybody, for the well wishes and safe travel wishes. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Love you all. I'm proud of you all. So next week, we should be going back to releasing, we will be going back to releasing our regular episodes and Patreon episodes.
Yep. This week's just little tight.
We just had time to record this Patreon episode. We didn't have time to do a regular episode.
Forgive us.
Forgive us. We're not worthy. All right. Well, you got anything else you want to add to today's episode before we roll it out?
No. I think we told everything that happened this weekend. Aaron does drugs.
Hey, I just did it one time and I didn't inhale.
Oh, you inhaled.
I did inhale a lot. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for joining us today. And again, thank you for your support. You are all amazing, every single one of you. So with that being said, Dan, you want to roll us out?
Sure will. It's okay to be out of this world with your thoughts.
Because you are not alone. Boom. So something I want to say before this episode begins is that we are independent researchers. We search for the truth and give it to our listeners regardless of where that truth leads us, even if that truth is hard to accept. We don't follow any narrative or take any money from any country to push any certain topic. The only thing we push is the truth. And I want to make that clear before this episode starts so that we are all on the same understanding. So with that being said, roll that beautiful music.
Welcome to Theories
of the Third Kind.
Welcome. First off, I want to say thank you to whomever you are listening for opening your minds to receive extra knowledge nuggets each week. It means a lot to all of us, and I want you to know that. Also, before we start, since you, whomever you are a Patreon subscriber, remember that you get priority in topic suggestions.
So feel free to shoot those suggestions on over to us, either by email, Instagram, Facebook, or you can shoot us a message on Twitter now. We ended up all getting a Twitter.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly, I was forced to be here, okay? And or you can write us a letter the old-fashioned way and send it to our P.O. box.
Yeah.
All right, so today's episode is over the Ukrainian biolabs. So how this episode will go today is that we will talk about what is a biolab, the different types of levels, and then we'll talk about the biolabs in Ukraine, as well as the facts and findings that we stumbled across, and then into theories, and then of course wrap it all up with our own personal thoughts and theories. So with that being said, let's get into today's episode.
I am sure you have heard it on the news. Russia making claims that the United States has biological labs across Ukraine. where they are secretly developing biological weapons.
Many of these Russia's disinformation campaigns that this is just a conspiracy theory and it is being spread throughout the United States by individuals who are now being called domestic extremists.
However, what if we told you that we uncovered documents that actually show that in 2014, the United States signed an agreement with Ukraine to help run these biolabs?
Also, why only a few days after Russia invaded Ukraine did the U.S. Embassy government website in Ukraine delete all documents on their website about the Pentagon-funded biolaboratories in Ukraine?
This is the Ukraine Biolabs.
Now, before we dive deep into this topic and our research and all of the documents that we came across and all that good stuff and spill the beans and everything, let's first get an understanding of what we're talking about. So, Dan, can you tell us what are biolabs?
Of course. Well, first off, biolabs is just a moniker. It's pretty much just an easier way to say biological research laboratories or facilities, which is a very somewhat generic term to use. Now, many places can be called biolabs, from a high school chemistry room to a high containment biosafety level 4 research laboratory that could possibly be researching bioweapons. Side note, we will explain a little more about what a biosafety lab level 4 is, here in a bit. But anyway, continuing on.
All right, so you are probably thinking, well, if a high school chemistry room can be a biolab, what is all the fuss about them in the news then? Well, the type of biolab that you are probably hearing about are the viral biological laboratories. So these are institutions that are engaged in the study of viruses and diseases or the production of viral drugs, like vaccines, anti-serums, that kind of stuff. And they are designed for the biological research of microorganisms to detect pathogenic microorganisms, dangerous diseases, and a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, the list is pretty big, but not all the biolabs are rated the same though. Each one of these labs have a certain BSL, which is, biosafety level. Now, there are a total of 4 different biosafety levels, which each level has a certain different guideline that ensures the safety of not only the lab workers, but also all of us outside of these labs from these dangerous diseases leaking out and infecting us.
All right, so let's dive a little deeper into each one of these different levels of the labs. So the first one that we're going to start with is the biosafety level 1. Now this BSL1 for short has a lab that contains biological agents that pose a low risk of infection to healthy individuals, animals, and the environment. So the safety rules for this BSL1, they're pretty laid back. The work in this type of lab can be done on a regular lab table and is easily cleaned by using chemical disinfectants or by steam treatment. No special equipment is required, but routine safety training is. And that is a BSL1.
All right, so the next up is biosafety level 2 or BSL2. Now, this BSL2 has a lab that contains work with agents associated with human disease. In other words, pathogenic or infectious organism posing a moderate hazard. For example, working with HIV or encephalitis. Since working with these and their potential to cause human disease, safety measures must be taken to prevent injuries by getting stuck with a used needle, cuts, and other breaches of the skin, injection, and mucous membrane exposures.
So at this level is when you start to see the biohazard signs on rooms. Now, with the same safety guidelines as level 1, level 2 adds protective clothing, the biohazard sign, and the use of a BSC, which is a biosafety cabinet. And of course, they have an eye wash station. And side note, if you don't know what a BSC C is? Not a problem. I'll explain it to you real quick. So it's pretty much a primary